Hi there, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter, back from vacation, and it is Sat Chat time. Did you miss me last weekend? Did you miss our little Sat Chat party, our little Sat Chat get together? I missed you guys, but I'm so glad to have a week off. It was wonderful. The girls and I had a great vacation at Old Orchard Beach with their friend group and a couple of their parents. It was good. It was good. It was a lot of fun. The kids had a great time. They didn't have to lift a finger all week, so they got to just hang out with their friends and enjoy the beach and all of that stuff. And it was nice. We had great weather. I think there was like one flash rainstorm the whole time, but yeah, other than that, we had pretty decently warm weather. We had a couple 80-degree days. The rest of it was in the 70s, and yeah, it was just really nice. Get a little bit of a tan. It probably doesn't show up on these lights because I was just really pale on camera, but yeah, it was good. Actually, I was mentioning in the video that I did about the my sketchbook. I posted a video on Wednesday going through the sketches that I did, because I did bring some watercolor supplies and did some paintings on the beach and whatnot, and I told the tale of my attempts at boogie boarding. So if you want to hear that story, you can go watch that video. I'm not going to rehash it here, but anyway, it was a lot of fun. My portable painter, as always, worked out great. I tried the new slim pans in that, and I really like them, because I brought some flat brushes, and I was able to use the flat brushes in those slim pans really easily. I added Potter's Pink to my the Potter's Pink was really a great addition to my palette, because on the beach it's great for mixing a texture, like a sand that's got a nice texture to it and a nice color. That Potter's Pink is just ideal with like yellow ochre and a little bit of ultramarine blue, a little bit of burnt sienna. It just gives you that wonderful granulation and texture and color. And also the Potter's Pink in the Sky with cerulean worked really well for that kind of just a cloudy, overcast New England ocean sky. It was a great addition. So if you like to do plein air, I would highly recommend Potter's Pink in your palette if you don't have it already, especially if you are painting. You know, I really think it would work for a lot of things. I think it would even work like Southwest landscapes. It's just such a nice earthy color that, I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer. I also added Mars Black in there, and I like the Turner Mars Black because it's got a little bit of a cooler undertone than than some other Mars Black that I've used before. That's PBK11. So it's a cooler undertone, so I feel like it mixes better and doesn't get as mucky as other blacks might. And I also added Cobalt Violet and Mineral Violet just for some interesting effects. I don't know if I really used them that much. I think I might have used them in with some blacks in some silhouette areas, but definitely the Potter's Pink, that was worthwhile adding into the palette. So the week was great. Go check that blog post out if you want to see my sketches, or check out my Instagram feed. You can see the sketches I did on location. It was just nice. It was relaxing. It was fun, and I got to hang out with a couple moms that I didn't really know. Well, I mean, I've known them for the kids have been friends since kindergarten or pre-K, so I've known these women for a long time. But it was just nice to get to know them a little bit better, and of course, hang out with the kids for a week. They were all great kids. They all they're all kind of nerdy. I gotta tell you, my my kids are kind of nerdy, and their friends are kind of nerdy. And so at one point, I look outside and they've all got their own novels, and they're all just sitting there reading in the sun, and I'm like, aw, they're so cute. But they had a good time. They were good. Oh, something funny happened today. Oh my gosh. So I got online this morning, and Valerie, who has the Drawing with Fire YouTube channel, she sent me a message. Well, no, she didn't send me a message. She tagged me on Facebook, and she said, "Lindsay, you're in Samantha Bee's video this week." I'm like, what? You know, Samantha Bee has the show Full Frontal with Samantha Bee. And at first I'm kind of a little bit oh my gosh. And then I'm kind of a little worried, because she's a comedian and she can be kind of mean. So I'm like, what would have caught, well, probably not her. I probably caught her producer's eyes or whatever. So she had this video, or this segment. It's a segment from her TV show Full Frontal with Samantha Bee. And she did a story about glitter. And a couple of years ago, I did a video called Should We Ban Glitter? And it was about microplastics and alternatives that you can use if you don't want to use glitter in your artwork. And it's I mean, it did okay. It wasn't a huge video. It wasn't an awful video. I think it has I just checked today, it was 17,000 views on it, so pretty decent. And it was just about how much damage could this product do potentially? How can we use it in a more responsible manner? And what can we use for alternatives if we don't want to use glitter? Basically, was the gist of the video. And anyway, so on Samantha Bee's video on her TV show. This is on her TV show. This is like on, I don't know what, TBS, I think. So like, you know, I don't know, millions? Could millions of, I don't know if millions of people saw it, but I felt famous for like a couple seconds there. So I watched her video, and it's like a 2-second clip of like, I think I'm saying like, kids love to use glitter or something like that. I don't know, but it's, but she didn't make fun of me. So she probably didn't even see it. It's probably your producers put it in or whatever. But I was like, oh my gosh, I was on full frontal with Samantha Bee. That's cool. So that was my little brush with fame this week. Not quite as exciting as meeting the buttery flaky crust couple as I did a couple weeks ago, but it's up there. It's up there. But yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. So I don't know. I shared it on the YouTube community tab because I was so excited about it. But it's kind of fun. That was kind of funny. It's like all the videos about glitter and microplastics on YouTube, she found mine. Or somebody did. But anyway, I was like, that's crazy. That's so funny. Oh, speaking of funny things I found on YouTube, I found this stand-up comedian, and she is hilarious. Her name is Sarah Milliken, and she had a special, and it's on YouTube. She has a YouTube channel, and she posted her special on her YouTube channel. And the name of the special is called Thoroughly Modern Milliken or something like that, or Totally Modern Milliken, one or the other. Anyway, it's like an hour and a half, maybe closer to 2 hours, and I've kind of like been listening to it on and off as I've been puttering around. She's so funny. Oh my word, I think she might be the funniest funniest person I have ever heard. I was laughing like out loud so much through her stand-up. So some of it's kind of raunchy. I'm not gonna lie, probably not the thing to put on in mixed company, but it's like the raunch sneaks up on you because she's so proper and she's got this cute Scottish accent. She just looks so like mild-mannered and like respectable. It's so funny. If you like, you know, I don't know. I think she could be completely raunchy and not offend anybody because she's just so cute and adorable and just naturally funny. Oh my word, you gotta check her out. Sarah Milliken, so funny. I'd never heard of her before, and I don't even know how that came up. Oh, what I think happened was, I accidentally, you know how like they have those reels on Facebook, and so I'll like check in once or twice a day and see if anybody has posted anything, especially with the kids getting ready for college, like in the parent groups, I just want to know if there's anything I'm missing, like orientation or something like that. I don't want to miss out on things I'm supposed to do or know about, or like deadlines, things like that. So I think what happened was I had swiped and it brings up videos. And anyways, there was like this little bit of, I'm not going to say what the bit was about because it was kind of raunchy, but it was funny. So funny. And then I don't know if I looked her up, but it came up. I saw it on YouTube, and I think I was cleaning up in here, and I put it on, and it was just so funny. I really like to listen to stand-up comedians, so and I don't like stand-up comedians that are mean to that are just like that get laughs by putting other people down. I never like comedians that's their shtick. I like comedians that are just they're funny. They're funny because they're funny, and they're witty, and they write well, and they just connect. You could tell she was just connecting with everybody that was watching her perform, and it's endearing and it's funny, and yeah, highly recommend. I don't know if men would find it as funny as women do, but there were men in the audience laughing. But ladies, I think you're gonna get some laughs. It's pretty funny. Oh, got a new Critique Club project. This one right here. This is up now in Critique Club. It's soft pastel using the pastel sticks. So if you are curious about pastel, you want to check that out. If you're a member, it's up right now. I will have a time lapse of that tomorrow on YouTube if you want to just kind of see how it goes together a little bit quicker. But I wanted to do something different. I wanted to paint something I haven't painted before, and or subject I haven't painted before, and I wanted to use pastels for some reason. I'm like, I just feel like using pastels. And soft pastels are the chalky ones that feel chalky. And I know that kind of bugs people, so you can always use pan pastels if you want to. Or, I suppose you could actually use oil pastels. The techniques will be a little different, but you could. Oh, my nose is running. Oh my goodness. Sorry about that, guys. As you know, I don't edit these, so you know, you're getting the real deal, man. Oh my gosh, her nose runs just like me. We're the same. We're the same, aren't we? We're all the same. We all have runny noses. Oh, anyway, so yeah, that video, I think it's about that project is probably about an hour and a half. So not super complex, but I think there's a lot of real good techniques in there that if you're not very familiar with pastel, you might not know. And I enjoyed painting it. I've never painted like a still life with like fish before, and I just I wanted to try something like that. There's a photographer on Unsplash, Gareth Paul, I believe is his name, and I find myself drawn to his reference photos a lot. He's got a great eye for light and just a really good photographer. I would highly recommend looking him up on Unsplash if you like to use Unsplash for reference photos. I don't cook fish, I don't eat fish, so there's no way I would have a reference photo of that without the generous photographers that give their work on these photo sharing websites. So very appreciative of that. I've got so many little notes around here. I just got off a call with a company that I'm going to be doing a class for, so I've got all these notes everywhere. Oh, speaking of classes, I will have a new Michael's class at the beginning of August. It just kind of came up, so I'll have more details as it comes closer, but I just want to kind of give you a heads up to just be aware of that. And what else? Oh my gosh, I have a review coming up on Monday that I think it's one of the most requested products. And I've been like, I feel like I'm so short. I'm gonna raise my chair or move the camera or something. I feel like I'm really short in the camera. Oh, sorry. Oh, so completely lost my train of thought there. I'll grab it. I have been requested, and I have. Can you guess what it is? Can you guess what the supply is? Okay, pause the video and write your guess in the video in the comments down below. Okay, don't cheat. Don't cheat. Don't write your guess after I show you what it is. You got to write your guess now. No cheaters. Okay, so I get requested this product to review a lot, and especially after, actually I think all these requests have come in since Marta over at Marry Me Small Art YouTube channel kind of rediscovered this product and got everybody excited about it. But the reason I've resisted for so long is because I have so many crayons, and these are so flippin' expensive. These are these Stabilo 3-in-1 Woody crayons, and I've resisted for so long because I'm just like, more crayons, seriously, I need my head examined. But they came out with these pastel colors, and they're so pretty. And then they had a set of 18 that had the 6 new pastel colors and then an assortment of their, like 12 of their other colors. So I'm like, well, I'll try that. If I really love them, I can always buy the other 6 colors open stock. Because for some reason, spending almost $40 on crayons was okay, but I draw the line at spending $60 to get all the colors. It's ridiculous. $40 for the contents of this little jar. So anyway, I was really curious as how they would compare to the Neocolor 2 crayons. These are more expensive than the Caran d'Ache Neocolor 2 crayons, and that's really what's kept me from buying them. But I decided I'm gonna bite the bullet. I've had too many requests for these. I'm gonna see if they live up to the hype. So I will have a review on Monday, and you can find out whether they live up to the hype or not. So you can post your guesses as to whether you think I'll think they live up to the hype or not in the comments below as well, and then we can see on Monday who's right. They're pretty though, aren't they? They're pretty. They're big. They're really big. I was surprised at how big they were when I opened up the package. But yeah, that was my. And then I was like, Lindsay, you need to go take your debit card and freeze it in a block of ice or something. Of course, it's saved in my Amazon account. That's why it's all frictionless. Man, no self-control. No self-control. I'm like, well, I think what it was is like, I want a treat. So many times I say I want a treat. I really need to slow my roll. But anyway, I had a lot of requests for that. It's technically a business expense, so I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna give it a try. And that review's coming up. I think it's gonna be popular because so many people are interested in that product. And I can understand why they'd want to see a review of it before they buy it, because especially if you have similar products at home already, it's like if you've got, you know, the Caran d'Ache, and you've got the distress crayons, and you've got the gelatos, and you've got the gel crayons, and you've got all of these things, it's kind of like, well, do I really want to spend that extra money and try that? I will say the new pastel colors do not have equivalents in the Caran d'Ache Neocolor 2 line. I have the 84 set, which is the biggest set they sell now. I guess at one point they had a 126 set, but I was never aware of that. So if you have the 84 set, the pastel colors are new. So if you wanted to see for yourself, if you got the pastels, you wouldn't have duplicates. So that's kind of nice, I think. But of course I didn't know that before I bought the set of 18. And I also feel like, because I thought about getting some open stock colors, but it's like, to really review a line of products, I feel like you need to have a bit of variety, because you might get a couple duds, or you might get some colors that just aren't really great representations of the product line as a whole. So yeah, I bit the bullet. I took one for the team. I bought the 18 set, but I drew the line at buying all the colors. If you buy the original 18 set and then the pastel set of 6, you would get all the colors. But no, I'm like, nope, that's too crazy. That's too spendy. I draw the line. Oh. I did pickleball again last night and book club. It was a big day for me yesterday. I read the book so before I went on vacation, I went to the library, and I went in before pickleball, my first attempt at pickleball, because I'm like, I want to grab something that I'll be able to read on vacation, because I knew there'd be a lot of downtime. The kids are obviously gonna be hanging out with each other. They're probably not gonna be hanging out with the parents too much, and that's fine. So I'm like, I want a book that I can read, kind of light. And I was talking to the librarian that was on duty, and she recommended this book called The Paper Palace, and she goes, it's actually our book club book. So if you want to borrow it, you can come to book club if you want to. So I've never been to book club before. I always thought that's kind of like more for intellectuals and I don't know, smart people. But I'm like, I'm gonna read this, and then if I like it, I'll go to book club. And I loved it. So the book is called The Paper Palace. I can't remember the writer's name, but you'll be able to find it. It's one of Reese Witherspoon's book club picks, I think. It was amazing. It was excellent. I loved it. And everybody liked it in the book club, actually. So I went to book club for the first time last night, and book club runs from 6 to 7. Like one Thursday a month, and then pickleball is every Thursday from 6 to 8. So I'm like, well, I really like pickleball, but I want to try new things too. So I decided I would go to book club, and I would go to pickleball if I could afterwards, because it's right in the same location. Our town library is on the premises of our town school, and the recreation department is running pickleball in the school gym. So we went to book club. It was a lot of fun. We all liked the book, and 2 of the people that liked the book the most actually got the audiobook version. So I love audiobooks, so I'm kind of thinking, oh, I should have got the audiobook probably, but I might still listen to the audiobook because I love audiobooks. But it went well. It was actually, there was probably like a dozen people at least, and they said it was a big numbers for book club. And I don't know if it's because of the book that they were reading, or but I'll link that down below, or because there's not going to be a book club next month, and maybe they wanted to just kind of get that booky goodness in before the break. But I'm trying to try new things. One of my daughters had her college orientation this week on Wednesday, and so I took the day off to go do that, and she'd been telling me that, well, she was going to go with another friend of hers that's also going to the same college, because it's just like half an hour away. And I'm like, well, do parents go? Oh no, I don't think parents go. I'm like, really? She's like, yeah, I think it's just for kids, and I've got to learn to do things on my own, and yada yada yada. And so I'm on the parent group of this university. And so parents have been asking about orientation. So I'm like, it seems like parents are going to this thing. And so I was on Facebook, and a friend, another mom I know whose son is going there, who's in my daughter's grade, had posted a picture of her and her son in front of one of those like photo ops at orientation, because they ran orientation all week, and they did a different one for the different schools at the university. And so I was looking at the comments, because I wanted to, kind of lurk and get some information, and without providing my ignorance before I typed a comment. And another mom posted, "My kid told me parents were supposed to come to this." And I'm like, yes, I'm not the only one that is out of the loop. And so I replied, mine said the same thing. Looks like parents are allowed. And then Denise, the mom, she typed, oh yes, there's tons of information. You should totally go. And then I typed, I'm like, do they keep you together? Because the horror of having to do your orientation with your parent with you, when clearly you have immaculately arrived on this world without any parents. A stork dropped you off into the Cabbage Patch 17 years ago, and none of these people have parents. The horror. So like they said, they separate the kids and parents like half an hour into the presentation. So I'm like, okay, good. I can tell her that, don't worry, you'll be doing your kid thing with the other kids, and all of us old fogies will be limping around in our canes and walkers listening to the the other presentations. And we got there, and like pretty much everybody, I think almost every kid was there with their parents, often both parents, not just one parent. So I'm like, oh, look at that, look at all the parents. You're not the only one with a parent here. And the kid that she came down with, who also didn't think that parents were supposed to go, so because I texted her mom, I'm like, do you know parents can go to this thing? And she's like, what? I can't go, she had work or something, and I'm like, well, don't worry, I'll go, I'll get any information that you might want. But it's kind of funny that, like, yeah, things never change. Teenagers are always kind of embarrassed by their parents, although I got on a boogie board and I was fierce, and I said, Lila, I hope that I didn't embarrass you. She's like, no apologies needed, Mom, you're fierce. You know, it's like, yeah, I'm a cool mom. Sometimes. But yeah, that went well. I met another mom because they separate the kids and the parents, so it was like lunchtime, and you know the horror of going lunch somewhere and you don't have anyone to sit with, right? So there's all these parents. You know, I sat down across from a lady, and she was super nice, and then we wandered around the campus together and checked out the bookstore and looked at a sample dorm room and all that jazz. So yeah, that was nice. Other parents seem pretty friendly, and I'm trying to do things that are kind of out of my comfort zone, because I tend to like be a hermit, and I'm like, whoa, pretty much most of my social interactions are because I go to the kids' sporting events and their plays and their concerts and stuff. I'm gonna need to like make sure I don't turn into a recluse. Now the kids are all out of the house. But one of the things they said during the orientation to the parents is to tell your kids to say yes to everything that's offered the first 2 weeks. Like any event, anything that we're putting on, tell them to do it. Go to all of the orientation, the first week festivities, because that's when you're going to meet all your people. That's how you're going to set the stage for a successful college experience, by getting out there and meeting all those people. If a friend, invites you to go get a cup of coffee, go with them, just meet people and get out there, and, those first 2 weeks, say yes to everything pretty much. So, I'm thinking, yeah, I think as adults, we need to do that more, because a lot of times we'll be like, oh, well, I don't feel like it's pickleball tonight. Well, I don't know if I feel like doing that. I'll just do it next week, when we think it's always going to be on the table. These things are just always going to be there. But if somebody goes to the trouble of organizing something, and I've done it before, like where I've like done classes at the library, free classes, and like 2 people show up, or nobody shows up, or and it's like, or people show up late. It's kind of like, why am I bothering doing this? Obviously nobody's interested. Meanwhile, people are thinking, well, I'll just come next one. Today's hectic, I'll come next month. And then I've stopped with those classes, so it's like that happens. So I kind of want to support the things that I'm interested in doing, because you can't take for granted they're always going to be there. So anyways, pickleball last night. They have 2 courts, but if there's fewer than 8 people, they set up just one, and people take turns sitting out. And I didn't know if I'd be able to play, because I didn't know if they had too many people, I wasn't going to show up halfway through and expect to play. But they only had 4 people there. Then they'd been playing the whole time, and some people wanted a break, so I hopped in and played a few games. And I think the thing why pickleball is getting so popular is that it's really easy to get up to speed with that game. And I was markedly improved from the last time I did it. And in fact, at one point, like, I dove for the ball, I hit it over the net, and I was on the ground, and my partner's like, are you okay? I'm like, I'm fine, keep playing. And I got up and I hit the ball, and it was great. It was such a long rally. I'm like, we are awesome. Felt so athletic, which is not a feeling I often have been able to enjoy in my 46 years. But yeah, I think, you can feel athletic playing pickleball. And it occurred to me today, as I was working on the computer and wondering when is the earliest respectable time I can eat lunch, because I was hungry, and I decided 11 a.m. is the earliest respectable time I can have lunch. I'm like, I'm playing pickleball, I'm going to book club, I'm eating lunch at 11, and I paint all day. I'm basically a retired person. I just realized it. I should just move to Florida, where it's warm all the time, because I'm basically a retired person. But oh, it was funny. I was hungry. And I like to eat dinner early, and yeah, I don't know how I got on that tangent, but anyway, let me see. Is there anything else I haven't? We have a lot to talk about, because it's been 2 weeks, guys. We have so much to talk about. I mentioned last time. I think I mentioned the last Sat Chat that Lila and I are renting a booth in a little a little shop. And I guess there's another person that like does Etsy who's about Lila's age that's gonna have a booth there to sell like cards and artwork. And Lila does vintage clothing. She has like a Depop shop, and she has a good eye for like style and vintage stuff that's kind of unique. So we're gonna do that together. So that'll be kind of a fun thing, fun mother-daughter type project. And my son had mentioned doing something like that because I used to rent at a place called the Schoolhouse Antiques Mall, and that was great. I've done that probably 3 times, and I'll like rent for a couple of years, and then I'll, you know, when sales start to trickle down or I get sick of it, then I pack up and I go away for a year or two, and I come back, and you know, it just kind of, it ebbs and flows when I feel like doing it or when I have stockpiled up enough stuff to sell. And I have a whole armoire full of stuff that that I really could get out. I have less urge to create if I have a bunch of creations hanging around. It's like I need to let it, it's like its journey is not done until it's out and being enjoyed by somebody else. And I think that's also a reason why I haven't made a ton of cards lately, is because it's like, what am I going to do with them? If I have a place where I'm selling them, it's a lot easier just to like, you know, make them knowing that, well, they have a place they can go afterwards. They're not just going to sit on a shelf gathering dust forever. And the place where I was selling, when did they close? I was selling at Accents, and it was probably 6 months or more ago. And so I have my card rack, and I've got my print rack, and I don't do prints, but I just like matte watercolors and put them out there. And anything I don't think I'll need for licensing in the future, I think I'm just going to mat up or even just slide into a cello bag and put them out there, get them out of here, and hopefully inspire me to create more. I guess I'm feeling like this is kind of like a new season of life, and almost like a rebirth type season of life. Like the kids are going on to college, so it's a big change for them, but it's also a big change for me and Jason because you know, we're gonna have more space and more time, and yeah, and I think you need to, just like those first 2 weeks in college, telling the kids to say yes to everything and to go to all the events and, you know, join 2 groups and do these different things. I think that we need to do that as well as we have changes in our season of life as adults, so that we don't just get stuck in our ways and stuck in the muck and doing the same things day after day. I totally have bruises on my knees from pickleball last night. I actually, I burned a hole in my knee, in my pants going after a ball, like just kind of like sliding across the floor, you know, action Lindsay hitting the pickleball thing. Didn't realize it was such a rough sport. Of course, I don't think other people spend as much time on the floor as I did, but I'm sure the better as I get more, proficient at the sport, I won't hit the ground so often. But it's good exercise. My knees are feeling it today. But you know, you lose it or use it or lose it, guys. You know, you gotta get out there, you gotta be fit, you gotta meet people, or your brain will go, your body will go, you know, you just gotta keep growing or you atrophy, right? I'm gonna leave you with that thought. I hope you have had a great week, and I can't wait to chat with you in the comments down below because I missed you guys. So we'll see you there, and as always, happy crafting. Bye.